facing head-on the emotions beneath the surface as we bridge from an old world of confusion and lack to a beautiful new world of freedom, abundance, and love with straightforward truth and inspired hope is what you'll find on The Charla Anderson Show. Collector and connector of fascinating people. And everyone is fascinating. Here's your host, Charla Anderson.
Good, beautiful day, beautiful, beautiful souls. This is Charla Anderson, host of the Charla Anderson Show, collector and connector of fascinating people, and everyone is fascinating, especially you. I'm so grateful that you'd be with us today. We're on WinWinWomen.tv with the whole network with Win-Win Women. We're on Poditize. We're on streaming services, and we're very, very excited to be here. I'm very excited to be here with my sister, Shirley, her best friend's sister, McRae, and we're just going to have a great time today and laugh our heads off probably. And as you know, the thing I do first is take a little mini vacation, just a tiny little 22-second, get us grounded, get us settled, little vacation, and having a good time with that. So we're going to breathe in calm for 7 seconds. We're going to hold for 4 seconds and then breathe out gratitude. Are you ready? Let's breathe in our calm. Hello. Okay, here we go. Hold. Release. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm very, this is just a very fun and exciting time to let me just check my little thing here. I'll just put it down. Anyway, it's, live, that's what happens. But I was coming down to Granbury, Texas, to visit with my sister and stay with a few days. And instead of racing back, it's only, 50 miles from my house. Instead of racing back and trying to get set up in my studio, she's got such a beautiful home, and it's overlooking the lake right outside there. If the lighting was better, we could have been looking at that. And just decided to invite, first of all, I invited Sister McRae because they call her the most iconic person in Granbury, Texas. And this is the most historic town in Texas and has one of the most fun histories you've ever seen. Really, it's just great. And Shirley, my sister Shirley, has been here since 1972.
Okay, whatever.
I was in high school. I got out of high school.
Please don't argue. Can we argue on camera?
And so I would still say they have the most fun of anybody I know. And they just both turned 80-ish. I just turned 70-ish last week, 70. So we're the seniors, and we ain't stopping. We're having fun. We're going to continue to have fun. We're going to go until we don't. Until we're on the right side of the dirt, breathing free oxygen. Until we're on the other side of the dirt, we're going to keep on keeping on, having a blast and a great time. And I don't even know where to start with these two lovely, lovely ladies. And I was trying to squeeze in under the same place, and it gets a little hysterical, maybe. But they never stop laughing. And they never stop giving. And that's the truth.
And going.
Yeah. But the giving, I mean, you're how many volunteer hours? So I'll start with you, Sister McRae, the icon of Granbury. I love you so much, and you're so much fun. So who are you? Why are you in this world?
I'm just hanging around. Hanging out. We have a very dynamic Visit Granbury operation here run by Tammy Dooley. She is phenomenal and has such a staff, and I'm one of the VIP volunteers. So I won the most volunteer hours for 2 years in a row, and finally I woke up and thought, it's awful hard. I'm not going to do that again. But she's got a great team, and people that volunteer as VIPs are very treasured and helpful to the Visit Granbury and the city of Granbury. We were just named the Celebration City of Texas. And there's so many things that go on at Granbury. If you're here, there's at least 2 or 3 things going on all the time. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for taking your time and joining us because, so far we've been pretty serious, but it's not often that there's not just roaring laughter because we'll be in New York City and people go, I hear Shirley Hooks. Where's Shirley Hooks? And that's the truth.
I didn't see you, but I heard your laugh. Yeah.
Truly. And she's super fun sister to have all these years, all my life. And we have 2 other sisters, Joyce and Marcia, that I'm sure will watch this, and we love them as well. One's just under you, and one's just under me.
That's right.
So 14 years altogether.
14-year span.
And I'm the play-like sister.
She's the 5th sister, the adopted sister.
I'm adopted.
Yes.
By choice, the sister of choice.
Truly, truly, truly. Yes, yes, yes. So Shirley, she is known for her laughter, but she also is, she owned the Century 21 office on the square in Granbury, Texas. I need to look at the right camera. On the square in Granbury, Texas, for many, many years, and is well known in this community and has been such a giver of time and energy. And so Shirley, why are you in Granbury, and what is your purpose here?
Well, my purpose, I guess, is to do whatever needs to be done or that I want to do and can do. When we were talking about that, I kept thinking about what Mother said, a mule can only do what a mule can only do. And I'm just kind of the mule, and I do what I can. That's a better way of putting it.
All you can do is all you can do. It's all a mule can do. Yeah, our mama had a lot of sayings, yeah. And that was one of them. And we were talking just before that. I was like, what are you leaving in this world? What is your message to, if you were talking to somebody that really wanted a life of a better life, what did you, what advice were you saying? And it's like, that's what you said. Leave the world.
My mother died about 30 years ago, and she was my very best friend. When I see people helping people, that means so much to me, and I want to be a part of that. We're retired, we have fun, we drink wine, we laugh a lot. But to help other people and to maybe help them see their way that they haven't seen before means a lot to me. And Shirley and I have tried to be the light to a lot of people.
To realize they have choices too.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all choice. I mean, That's honestly, my book, just Split-Second Transformation, Change Your Words, Change Your Life. 31 Daily Practices just went bestseller last week. I'm so thankful for that. And it was fun. We had a big party, and these two came.
Had fun. Can you imagine? We came and had fun.
And so, but it talks about your words, and every word is a choice, and everything you, you can't change one thing from last second, last week, last minute, last generation, any of that. You can only change the next one. So when you're choosing to change your mindset, and that's all it is, changing a little bit of a mindset, and speak what you want, not what you don't want, right? Shirley's been the most positive person in my life, really? All of my life.
Really?
Isn't that sad?
By the way, hey, you guys toast your wine. They were like, we're going to have wine for our.
We are known in Granbury as Thelma and Louise.
That's fine.
And it's like, who's on first? And if you get them together in the car on driving somewhere, oh my gosh. Well, you should have had a recording of that.
What's so funny is that I have a life-size pig that rides as navigator.
You think it's funny.
Shirley doesn't think it's funny because she has to ride in the back seat.
She doesn't have to, and I keep telling you that.
Uh-huh. But she does, because there's a pig in the right seat. And if you go on my Facebook page, I posted that picture. It's hysterical. And you drove up when I was getting out of the car, and I was like, is that you're driving with your pig? And she is. It's just this statue of his name is Marvin, right?
Right. And, being as the pig lady in Granbury is not very endearing, but it's so much fun because people honk and wave and hi, they even know his name.
And you're also known as the CEO bag lady.
Yes.
CEO bag lady. That doesn't sound very good, does it? But what it is because of all your volunteering and helping with setting up gift bags and stuff like that. So she got the name tag of CEO bag lady. By the way, there's a podcast called Uniquely Granbury. Isn't that it? Mm-hmm. Uniquely Granbury. And she was on episode number 3. I've posted it on my Facebook page. It's a very excellent depiction of her life, of her contribution. She had, her brother was extraordinarily influential in Granbury, and he started Granbury Live, and he started big part of the Great Race.
He was founder of the Great Race in 83.
The founder of the Great Race. Y'all seen that, right? And so she was, Sister McRae was totally involved and went on a lot of those races and had a little bit of fun.
From 1989 through 2002, when he sold the race, and then 11 guys bought it, ran it 2 or 3 years, and it went into bankruptcy. My friend Corky Coker with Coker Tire Company bought it out of Great Race, brought it out of bankruptcy. And he had the first race, and he called me and he said, "Sister, it's not the race without you. You got to come." So I've been going back on the Great Race since 2013. And, I've had some monumental things that have happened in my life, but the biggest honor that Great Race has is spirit of the event. In 2019, they gave that to me, and I couldn't do anything but cry. I couldn't even say thank you. I was so overwhelmed because it's the highest honor they have. It means more than winning the Great Race. So I've been blessed time and time again.
And you've blessed many.
Well, I try.
And her dry sense of humor, it's a little dry sometimes. Like, yeah, I knew that finger was coming to that cheek. That's the other picture on the page, right? So, Shirley.
Yes, ma'am.
She practically raised me, 10 years older than I am. So many of my young years, she was there, stable. And you've got some philosophies in life. I'm telling you, she's had mentees, mentored. I think, tell a little bit about that program, because I think it's amazing how many young girls, I guess, mostly, that you chose to mentor.
Are you talking? Well, I've been a mentor in the middle school for several years. I'm taking a break right now, but it's one of my favorite things to do, to get to know the children. But what was my life for so many years was in the real estate business and wanting to help agents understand that the most important thing that we can do, or they could do, is to help people do what was ever in their best interest, and what's not necessarily what they wanted to do or what they thought they liked, but what it was in their best interest. And a lot of times we're confused about what's in our best interest and what we want. There's a conflict there. So to help somebody understand and recognize that and help others do that, it was huge.
So along with that, I remember the biggest real estate name in this town and this whole community around Granbury. We're just southwest of Fort Worth a bit. You were known as the realtor of the, you really were the top, and your win attitude, which I love that because I'm now on win TV, but the win attitude is the key. And you had almost zero lawsuits, and that's not really normal.
Not zero
Lawsuits, and it's because, if you always are working on what's best for everybody, it's not, and remove, I love that, what you're talking about, taking the finding out what's in the best interest. And not everybody's, it might be a compromise, obviously. Many times I'm sure it's a compromise, but when you can say that and you've lived it to the nth degree, win, and integrity and doing the right thing and always doing the best, right? The best you can and with any given situation. So you've done that well.
I have to say one more thing, that sister and my sisters and everybody has always known. My kids, when they ran into a problem and didn't know what to do, or they were mad about something, the thing I always told them was build a bridge and get over it. Because that's what you do. Sometimes you do have to go through it, but it's a lot better if you can just build a bridge and get over it.
Shirley was always so centered in everything. So if somebody was building a new building or I saw a new house go up, I'd call Shirley and I'd say, who is it? What's going on? And now I have to tell her what's going on.
You were
kind of nice.
Yeah, but y'all stepped back, but you haven't slowed down. So, I mean, show your social calendar. You're like, well, I said, I'm going to come stay for a couple of days. You said, well, I got this and 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 that and the other. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm playing poker tonight.
Oh, poker tonight, dinner party last night. Seriously, that's true. Don't get arrested. Is it legal?
But we can do
it. No, we're having a great time. So, what overall, we were talking earlier too, I just feel like there's people that need hope. There's a lot of people in our world that are feeling discombobulated, that are feeling like there's nothing settled in our world right now. So what advice do you have for people right now to maintain the hope? I mean, you've had a huge year of challenges health-wise, and you've, because I believe you choose to overcome them. It's a lot of it is choice too, right? So.
Right. I've had breast cancer for the second time. Had a mastectomy in January, went back in the hospital in May, again in June. And I'm laying there and nothing's happening. And I said, look, I am 81 years old. I have a life to live, and you've got to get me the hell out of here. Next day I had surgery. The next day I was discharged. Of course, Shirley was there. She was my Uber all the time. And confidant when I was in the doctor's office, but something about being in the doctor's office with the oncologist the first time I'm meeting him. He has my test results and he said, you need a mastectomy. And I said, okay, that's okay. And then he said, and are you considering reconstruction? And Shirley was with me. We just hoorah. But you know what? I've been blessed. And what I want to do in my lasting years, I want to be a breast cancer advocate for others. I want people to be able to call me, tell me what they're going through, what to expect, because I've tried to help people all my life, but the main thing I want to do is help those that have the devastating diagnosis of breast cancer. I'm living proof you can get past it. We have a very good friend, Brock, that owns a restaurant here, They had a huge fundraiser for him, and he showed up. I hugged him and I said, Brock, I am a living example that you can conquer this. So we pray for him.
Yeah.
James Brock.
He's
James.
And toast him too.
Yeah, he's got a great. I guess it's a bar and restaurant out in towards Acton out here.
And he donates and
He gives turkeys away, 1,000. I think
serves turkey dinners, right, for the homeless or anybody.
And free turkeys.
Unbelievable guy, and he loves everybody. I love everybody once.
Sometimes.
I shouldn't tell that. I feel like if you don't dislike me, you couldn't dislike a better person.
That's what I'm looking for. Some of your little sayings and your quips and your silliness.
Well, Shirley's always saying, get over it.
Well, and now she said build a bridge and get over it. I don't remember hearing the bridge part.
I don't either. Did you just make that up?
No, you can ask my kids. They've heard it. I mean, you have to do a lot for yourself sometimes.
Do you know what it means to a country girl from Plains, Texas, out far west, 15 miles to New Mexico, to have a friend like Charla and be invited on her show? I think that's great.
Well, thank you.
It's so sweet.
Nervous, but I feel precious.
You are precious. And I mean, this is just conversation. And we do a lot of that, laughing and conversing.
We need to do more.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's been a little bit of a whirlwind with last week or two with my little book launch and party and birthday and stuff and such. And y'all are social calendar. Can I squeeze in?
The funny thing, we have to check with each other the first of the week so we don't override, because I try to come over here with Shirley and her dog Bella. Surprise, Bella's not in the show. Where is Bella?
I asked about her.
I forgot that I didn't think about it again.
They locked her out.
But she's going to fundraisers. I'm going to fundraisers. We go to fundraisers together. And Granbury is such a giving community, and there's a lot of need here. I know I was at a city council meeting, and they were voting on having a prison come to Granbury. And it was voted down, and was the reason, it's what follows a prison. And I never thought about that. The families that follow and become wards of the county. So Granbury chose not to do that. But it's such an iconic city. It's so different. It may not be grapevine and decorations and everything, but
they just made a Hallmark movie in Granbury, and if you come to the Granbury Square, oh my gosh, it looks like it is a movie set. It is beautiful, it's always like that.
It's like driving through a Hallmark movie.
It really is in this whole town. And so the prison thing reminded me of the original, one of the fun stories originally, that the little jailhouse, somebody escaped out of it with a plastic spoon, digging through
they scraped the mortar between the stones
with a plastic spoon. And
wait a minute.
In 1973, I think.
You know a story I don't know.
Oh, there's more than one.
Well, I have a few you don't know.
Well, let
them out.
Live it up.
Let the world know. You never know.
I don't think we have time.
No, probably not for all of them, but maybe a couple.
They're to save for later.
But that was when you first moved up here. Somebody had just recently escaped in the 70s with the plastic school out of the what building is that now? It's the old jailhouse. The old jailhouse.
It's old jail museum. Is what it's called.
And they have a hanging tower, but they never hung anybody.
Well,
just in case.
There's a few people we could head that direction.
Oh, not now. We
have a hanging. This is one of the Jesse James was here. Jesse James came through. I mean, there's a lot of
and John Notorious is reported to be.
He owned the Nutshell.
No, he worked at the Nutshell as a bartender.
As a bartender, he owned the building next door.
St. Helens.
Yeah.
We're not arguing. We're just checking facts.
They never argue.
We're weighing our options. And then we'll decide what's true.
There's three sides to every story, hers, and the truth.
Oh, Charla.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Anyway, so you've got a whole, you really have a whole a lifetime of stuff that you could share here. So let's put it into a little package.
Capsule.
The capsule, a little capture.
Okay. I'm just a country girl from Plains, Texas. I went to Dallas. First I went to Lubbock, worked for the county judge, county commissioners. Then I went to Dallas. I worked for stockbrokers, doctors, lawyers, and then I got in the surplus lines insurance business. And that's where the hard to place risk that your agent can't place. We specialized in that, and I did that for 25 years. And then I woke up one day and I decided I wanted to go great racing. So I went over to my brother and told him I'd work for him for a year for nothing. Then a year later, we're flying back from Hershey, and I said, okay, I made another decision. And he kind of backed up when I did. I said, I'll continue. I'm not going to work anymore for nothing. He looked at me and I said, but I will work for minimum wage. We had so much fun. And I think we touched so many lives with the great race. And it's a memory that I've been to all 50 states. I mean, a big old country girl from Plains, Texas. And then I came to Granbury, and that's such a different experience because it's such a warm town with warm, giving people. And one of the first things I had to do when we moved here in 95, moved the race here for national headquarters. We had a great race coming to spend the night, not enough hotels, and I'm calling a list of people who have volunteered to take a great racer into their home. That's a terrific way to meet people. No one denied me. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So, and the saddest thing one of the saddest things that's happened in Granbury was when your brother Tom ended up on a motorcycle wreck and not making it. It's a sad time and a harsh time, and it's still hard for you. But because he was such the life of the city, he started Granbury Live too, right?
Right.
And the great, all of these things. He was such an entrepreneur. But we want to honor him, Tom McRae, as well. That his memory is.
He always included his daughter Sam, and she was very instrumental in everything he did. And I'm so proud of her.
She's still here?
No, she's in San Antonio, married, enjoying life, and we both live with the memories that Tom gave us all those years.
And I mean, y'all were.
Oh,
We
listen,
were joined at the pit buddies.
It was just one of those
We
most
were
shocking
in
moments.
Rinky Tinks eating lunch when we got
got
word
the
that
death
he'd been
message.
killed.
Yeah.
Mm.
But Tom and Shirley had this unique relationship. Tell them about knocking in the wall.
Well, had bought a couple of buildings on the square, and we had just bought the Masonic Lodge building, and had my office across the street. And Tom came down, and Tom always wore a tool belt. He always had a tool belt wherever he went. Anyhow, so he full of life. My goodness, he ran everywhere, and he came in. Anyhow, I took him across the street. I wanted to show him the building. It was a big 2-story building. I was in a 1-story, and so we walking up the stairs, and we get up to the landing, and it's plastered. The walls are all plastered, and so he just impulsively and immediately, and without me having time to do anything, pulls out his hammer out of his tool belt and says, I wonder what's behind this stucco, and starts breaking through it. Well, this beautiful stone is there. However, I said, well, Tom, that's really, really good, but we have a banquet here in 3 weeks. And that's how we got to eat free. We were the first and probably only free banquet in Celebration Hall.
Because he tore down the wall.
I wonder what's behind this, Pastor, but that was so Tom.
But when he bought the 2 buildings, he was building an apartment upstairs, wasn't sure what he was going to do downstairs. And he had overalls on, always had this plate undone, and he'd pull people off the street he'd never seen before and take them upstairs, you know. And he did the same thing when we opened Granbury Live. He'd be out front, hey, come see this show. You don't want to miss this.
Well, and one of the things I loved, this, I hadn't even thought about this before, but Tom and Sandy came here to buy a ranch, came to Granbury originally to buy a ranch. And instead, he bought this building on the square. But what he did to make the whole thing work is they named their apartment upstairs the Up Top Ranch.
Up top.
And the T is across. And, you know, there were so many people in Granbury that donated toward the down payment of the building. And that was so appreciated because the building has so much history. And then when he had the opportunity to buy the building next door, and he built the Up Top Ranch and lived there, he didn't know what he was going to do downstairs. And a musician, Russ Hearn, his wife came and they started talking, and then they had dinner and everything. And Tom said, when he moved here, he said, Granbury needs music. So from 1999 until he was killed in 2005, the last performance of our Granbury Live Band was August the 13th, 2011. And then it was leased for a couple of years, and then it was sold, and Ike Thomas now has it. And we had our own band that did a concert on Friday night and a different concert with 2 performances the next day. So we're bringing all these people to Granbury, and they're spending the night, and they're going to the Opera House and going to Granbury Live. And he just had such a vision. And now they do tribute bands, and I've seen so many sold outs because there are older bands that are, you know, not doing the big arenas and everything. Like the Malpass Brothers were just here, and I missed that. I hated it. But Granbury Live's going on, and Kishler's doing a good job, and Ike Thomas is, he's a very special man that's so ingrained in Granbury, and the things that he's going to do and the things that are coming, you're going to be surprised.
And
well,
love,
that's cool.
and love.
So this city is, I mean, it's been from day one has been just unique in the beautiful town square. But you've got Granbury Live, you've got the Opera House, you have restaurants, you've got wineries, you've got everything you can think of that you would ever want, and antiques all over the place, and it's grown. How many golf courses are in this town?
9, I think. But one other thing, the building that Shirley sold when she retired is a beautiful shop, The Nest, that Paula McDonald's doing. Take the elevator upstairs, beautiful B&B. The number 1 that faces the square is called the Shirley.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, no.
It's called the Shirley Ann.
The Shirley
I'm
Ann.
sorry.
Shirley Ann.
Correction. Shirley Ann.
Not in correction, an improvement.
Yeah.
Well, at least I thought of it.
You did.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool.
You should be here with us while we're doing that. You know, I was nervous, but I'm not nervous anymore.
No, and I know the wine didn't help, but that was well, we're gonna wind it up. So do you have any I know it's our last
talking.
I know you're good at it. So give us your last words of wisdom, that if you were talking to somebody that just was like, I don't know what to do, where to head, what, you know, how to.
My suggestion is be involved, go volunteer. There are so many nonprofits and Visit Granbury that needs people to help with little things, and you meet so many neat people. Midland in California is moving to Granbury. Did y'all know that? It's happening. It's happening on my
Don't
street.
California my Texas. I have a friend that has shirts. Don't California my Texas. Maybe don't California.
They're here, believe me. But welcome.
Right. So the good ones are coming.
The good ones are coming. And what I want to do, I would like to be an advocate for breast cancer. If you got a question, call me. Anything I can do to help you, call me.
And I have a connection for you about that.
Okay, good.
Some good stuff going on in that arena. So, Shirley, my sister. What your last big nugget that you would tell somebody that is needing hope?
Get another bottle out of the garage.
Just keep on keeping on. I mean, it all boils down to doing your best, and you just keep on doing it.
Life keeps lifing is one way I say things, and it's one of the things that you've said brought up in my mind. There's very, people are very when you're in depression or things that are hard, often you can only focus on yourself, right? And so and it takes great effort. I'm not saying it's easy, but focusing outward and saying someone else, being in action is one way. And one way to do that is to serve someone else, to serve your community, serve your fellow man, pick up a piece of trash, do something different that makes a difference, leave things better than you found them. Don't make the world a better place. Our mama said that. She said that today. Don't leave a mess for the next person to pick up.
And be kind. Be kind.
Be kind. You never know.
That is probably the biggest thing people need to think of, because they never know what the next person's going through.
The one word that if we could all live would be kindness.
And a smile. A little bitty smile goes so far. I even wave at people I don't even know to see if they'll wave back. Who's that crazy woman with a pig in her car?
Waving at me. Do I know her? They will in a minute if they slow down.
Right.
There's no strangers to these two ladies, and lovely ladies, and beautiful, beautiful time we've had together. So this is my 39th show, I believe. 39th. Yeah, I started in March. And so I'm grateful for Shirley for you letting me just kind of come and have some Zen time at your home and overlooking the beautiful lake, and the atmosphere here is amazing. And sister is, we haven't had our skip bow games yet this week. So we're going to have to circle back around and get to our
I'll always show up. It's so fun here. This is the fun center of Granbury.
And that's the truth. Right. So thank you very much, everyone. What, you're going to say it?
Nope.
Okay. Everybody that listens to this, mostly later. I don't think we have anybody live. And if we do, I can't see the screen enough to tell. So if you unmute and want to have a question, if someone is here, do it right now, because we're going to shut down the show. But we do have this is an interactive show, and eventually I will build it more as an interactive show. Currently, it's mostly just guest driven and fun. And then the podcast comes out, and we have all kinds of quotes and sayings and things that we get to use in other ways on social media if you want to. Anyway, but Marvin the pig and his pilot, put your finger there. There we go.
Here we are. Just ask us anything.
Anyway, I always want to just let you know that you're exact wherever you are is the only place you have to be. You're perfect exactly who and where you are right this second. You don't have another place to be, and you might as well appreciate it or love it, or at least be there so that you know how to take the next step from. And you're perfect. You're perfect. There's nothing you can do to be loved more or less by God or me or us. Right. And choose kindness. And I say that, and the harder people are to love, the more they need it. So a lot of this is just the lessons that I tend to weave through my shows. And I love to always end with, always just choose joy.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. The Charla Anderson Show, encouraging you to stand strong and courageous with bold faith, no fear, immense hope, kindness, and love, especially towards yourself. Visit charlaanderson.com for replays, blogs, and more on her ever-expanding website, as well as watch her live TV show on winwinwomen.tv, Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And so that we can continue learning together and growing this community of beautiful souls, we invite you to share the Charla Anderson Show with your circle of friends. Until we meet again next week, remember always, choose joy.